traveled the world. How many countries have you been to?
142.
142 countries.
Altogether.
The roof over your head.
Yeah.
And it was how many pounds a month?
136. With the water and the electric, 152. My food bill's never been above £200.
What's your all-in average per month?
Altogether, it's about 260.
This is Dan of Vagabond Awake, and today we're lucky to have Mark as a guest here on the channel. Mark, welcome to the channel.
Nice to meet you, mate.
Nice to meet you too.
Nice to meet you.
So, Mark, where are you? What part of the world did you grow up in?
Stoke-on-Trent, from the Midlands in England.
Okay, in England.
Yeah, born in Cheshire and then moved over to Stoke-on-Trent, Staffordshire when I was younger.
Right on. Now, we are in Bangkok right now.
Yeah.
But you just flew in yesterday?
Yeah, flew in from Vietnam.
And you're on a visa run, right?
Yeah, it's a 90-day visa run where basically, as an English citizen, you get 45 days anyway when you enter into Vietnam on your stamp.
Right.
So we come out, it costs like $65, takes 2 days to process, and then you get 90 days going back in on your stamp instead of the 45 that you're entitled to anyway.
Right.
So literally fly from Vietnam to here, costs like $45 each way, do the visa, and then back home.
And you have to do that if you want to stay in Vietnam, you have to do that every 90 days?
Every 90 days or every 45 days, depending on which way you want to do it.
Right, that's great.
Yeah.
And how did you pick Vietnam?
Top Gear, basically, off the
TV show
the
Top
TV
Gear.
show Top Gear, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was watching a bike sort of thing that they did where they rode from the south of Vietnam to the north of Vietnam on motorcycles.
Right.
So I was in Europe at the time, in Bulgaria. I'd brought some land in Bulgaria and basically was doing a project over there, and I'd had totally enough of it. I'd got the place in Mexico, which I was getting bored of, so it was a case of, right, let's go have a different experience, let's go try Asia. So flew into Vietnam. Literally within a couple of days of being there, a friend was there with me at the time.
You and your friend bought motorcycles?
Bought motorcycles, side of the road, Saigon, no license asked for, no insurance asked for, no nothing. Literally $400 motorcycle, and off we went, plodded from the south, from Saigon, right up to the north, went round the Beijing Loop, and then come back down the coast. He went back to England, sold his motorcycle when he got to the top on the Chinese border, got straight back on a plane and went back to England. And I seen Nha Trang as we were coming up the coastline. The place just got me. It was so come back down again, started to look around, found the apartment. So I've gone to this Vietnamese guy. I'm walking into his house, like a 4-story apartment. Yeah. So I'm interested in renting this apartment off you. I'm here for a couple of months, blah, blah, blah. He's like, yes. I says, can you tell me how much it is? And he was like, 5 million dong. It's $136. $136, yeah. And I'm looking at him going, are you sure? And I says, how much is electric? And he went, electricity. And I went, okay. He says, how much is the water? He says, 100,000 dong per month. So I says, okay, so really, so you're telling me for 6 million, that's everything. So that's my water, my electric, and my house for 6 million dong. He's like, yes. So I worked out, it was £156 it worked out at. And that was my accommodation, my water, and my electric, all in for 156. Yeah. And so it's like, so to him I said, you would take now cash up front, I'd pay you for 2 years. And his little eyes went bing. It's like, paid it off for 2 years, paid the apartment off, so there was no worries with it, and it was like.
So how long have you been there now?
9 months.
9 months?
9 months,
so this is your second or third
This is the
run?
third time. Yeah, I went to Kuala Lumpur on the last one.
I'll finish this for you. We're talking Vietnam now.
Right.
Don't come to Vietnam if you think it's going to be this.
Easy.
Okay.
It is easy in an aspect of life compared to where most people in Europe or me in England are from, because you've got hospitality is totally different, the laws are totally different, the people are totally different. The hard side of it is adapting to that, from the conditioning of what you've been like in Europe or wherever you've been before, especially Latin America and things like that. It's a total different way of life where I am in Vietnam compared to where I live in Tulum. It's totally different, and especially Mexico City and as you come up them sort of areas. So I'd say it's the lifestyle's amazing when it comes to your food, like we've just been saying, accommodation, the living costs, etc. But when it comes to actually converting your mindset to how the way of life is, that's the bit that you need to get your head round and come a few times and actually get into the way of life of how people are and how what they expect and what they don't expect and what you can do and what you can't do and things like this. It's like with my motorcycle. Obviously we're being in England, especially where the laws on the road, the slightest little thing they'll send you to prison. And then I got to Vietnam and it was like there's no laws, and it's like there's no rules, literally no rules. And the police, they pull you over, you just pay them, and it's like I'm watching this and it's like wow. So to get literally every day I'd be going out, helmet on, jacket on, as if I was getting out in England, over my shoulder every 2 minutes, got no license for the motorbike, no insurance on the motorbike. So, you're like over your shoulder every 2 minutes, but then you figure out they don't care. They literally don't care. It's the same as Mexico on that sort of thing with the police and how the police are here.
So how do you answer this question? Do come to Vietnam if you want
nice food, nice weather, relaxed lifestyle, not the tension in your brain of what you've got everywhere else in the world, and totally different way of life, and a cheap, nice way of living, man, and nice women.
Perfect. It's not like you just woke up yesterday and ended up in Vietnam. You've traveled the world. How many countries have you been to?
142. 142
countries.
Altogether. Not necessarily staying for long periods of time in some, but I'd say staying and living 97.
So expats often talk about having a strong sense of freedom in some countries when they move overseas. If that's true for you, what do you think causes that feeling?
I think it's especially with me being English, I can relate to how England's run and how England is, from governments, like say, to police, to different things of how the actual country is. So I think when someone like myself comes to somewhere like now, like Thailand, it's a total flip on the head. It's not the same laws, it's not the same things they're looking at, it's not the same sort of environment, if you know what I mean, to make you feel like with England. Everyone looks as though you must go to work now until you're 65, and then you retire at 65. We'll give you a nice little thing to go play with. Traveling made me realise the difference in that. Made me realise that you've not got to go plodding and what you're programmed into all the way through your life until you're 65, then retire with your pension. It made me look at the freedom. You can literally go around these places and around the world. Like Cyprus, I landed in Cyprus. When I landed there with nothing, I had $20 in my pocket when I got to Cyprus.
Wow.
And literally, my mum's a chef, so my mum had taught me how to do a lot with chefing and things like this. So I literally landed in Cyprus with nothing, got the apartment, and then went working as a chef in a restaurant. And it was one of the best times in my life. The total freedom of getting there and then having Cyprus for 3 years, it made me open my mind up to think, well, these guys all survive in the places and they're having a nice time. They're smiling. They understand. They're not moaning. They're not, I haven't got this amount, I haven't got that amount. They make it happen. So I started to sort of use that mentality and started to think, well, if these can make it happen with nothing, someone who's got a bit of something can make it happen double the fold. The people weren't as, how can I explain it to you? It's like when I walked into that chefing job in Cyprus, it wasn't, in England, if you wanted to go for a chefing job, you've got to sit there, you've got to show you've been through university, you've got to show you've got this thing, and you've got to show you've got that. The guy turned around to me and said, I like you, show me. And that was it. And that's every other country of the world I've been to when I've worked. It's never been a sit down, man, bullshit interview. It's always been prove it, yeah. We talk, prove it, get in there and prove it. And that to me, again, is a freedom. It's not someone there being able to having to go, oh shit, I've got to show myself to this man. Again, it was nice.
That's great. So that you're rare in that way, but you've done it on the ground.
On the ground,
jobs
mate.
And stuff.
Yeah,
so.
it was better that way. To me, online, you can literally, it's got a crashing point. Online, you can tell people at some point they won't use you, or your website will go down, or this will happen, or that will happen, or there'll be some kind of technology that will mess up your day. You know what I mean? With what I was doing and the way I lived my life traveling, I didn't have a mess up on my day. I didn't have a mess up. If I didn't want to go and do anything, I didn't go and do it. If I wanted to go and work with that guy, I went and worked with him. So there was no waking up in the morning, putting my computer on and going, shit, my email's crashed, or shit, this is crashed. It was like, okay, well, let's get out there. Let's go speak to people. Let's go and mouth to mouth it instead of using that, or instead of, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's great. You've talked about already your rent and your utilities, the roof over your head.
Yeah.
And it was how many pounds a month?
136 with the water and the electric, 152.
Okay. And then, so what would you say? All in, like now you're your food, maybe you cook some at home, go to restaurants, maybe have a drink or whatever once in a while, go on a date. What's your all in for me?
Right, I wake up every single morning, I eat fresh shrimp. Okay, I have shrimp delivered to my door, cooked every single morning.
Yeah.
I've got an high metabolism, as I say, I'm a skinny guy, so I got a high metabolism, so I'm eating every 2 hours, and literally I have fresh food, chickens, everything delivered to the doorstep while I'm working or wherever I am, by the grab, wherever I'm working, and it normally works out, I eat like a king, and my food bill's about $60 a month.
$60 a month?
Yeah, and I eat like a king, man. I eat like an absolute, don't get me wrong, I've had months where I've kicked myself and it's been like 200 quid, but and I'm slapping myself there and going, wow, what have you spent that on, man? When the month before you ate just as well, and it was only 60, 90. So obviously what you've done extra there, you know what I mean, but it's never ever, my food bill's never been above £200 ever, and that's for the whole month.
And that includes restaurants and...
That includes restaurants, that includes me grabs, that includes me eating in, me going to the shopping centre, me going on the beach and having my shrimp and whatever.
And what about other stuff? What's your all in average per month?
But all in, I normally work out altogether, it's about $260. About $260, and that's my house, my food, and my games. My pets on my motorbike.
So do you live like in a tourist or expat area, or do you live more like in a local?
I'm out of the area.
Above the river?
Yeah. I'm the other side as you go towards, like cross over towards the airport, but not right in the middle.
Right.
So it's solely Vietnamese.
So you're not paying tourist prices, are you?
No.
You're living like a local.
That's it, yeah.
Your apartment's probably local.
Yeah, that's it.
So Mark, do you miss anything from home?
No.
Not a thing?
Not one thing.
Yeah.
Not one thing, mate. Not one. I can't even sit here, Dan, and even think about it and even say yes to you, mate, because I'll be lying.
Okay, so in Vietnam, do you feel safe?
Yeah, it's one of the safest countries I've felt in where I've been. I'd say, literally coming from Latin America and having a lot of time over there, where you literally got cartels shooting each other left, right, and centre. Yeah. It's totally different, mate. Totally different, where you can literally go, if you want, take your clothes off at 2 o'clock in the morning and go for a swim in the water. It's totally different to Latin America, where if you go out after 8 o'clock at night, police are taking your money off you. It's the totally different ends of the spectrum. So yeah, mate, totally feel safe. It's the people there are totally different. So yeah.
So how much of your time do you spend outside of England per year?
All of it.
All of it, yeah. So do you go home every other year?
No. No. Last time I went back to England was 2021, and I brought a Subaru, and then that was it. I haven't been back since. I drove that through Europe and haven't been back since.
Oh, that's great. I feel the same way about America. It's a great place to be from. Yeah. My zipper's open? I'm advertising.
There you go.
So many countries. If money was no object, where would you live? Which one would you pick?
Barbados. Got off the plane and landed there and went and stood in the middle of the beach. Yeah. You felt it was what you'd seen on TV and what you'd seen as a kid. Them nice beaches, nice crystal water, and that was. I like me diving. I sort of like me snorkeling and deep sea diving and stuff like that. So when I first started traveling, that was one of my sort of catalysts. That was why I ended up in Cyprus as well, because I was looking for water that I could go and sort of progress my diving career with.
In Vietnam, do you carry health insurance?
No.
Just pay as you go?
Just pay as you go, yeah.
Okay. Mark, you have a YouTube channel, don't you?
I do, yeah.
Tell us, what is it about?
When I left England, got into like 6 years of traveling all around the world and ended up with like 20 mobile phones with all different videos on and stuff like that. So it was a case, well, okay, let's just get it into YouTube, come away from the lifestyle that I used to have, and started to do my training to do with hypnotherapy, and so started to help people with PTSD and things like depression, etc., while I was traveling. And then got into meditation and trained as a meditation coach. So then it was a case of thinking, well, I can show my life of what I'm doing at the bouncing around the world and enjoying myself, and also show the trainings, and then also be able to train people. So that YouTube channel, as it's coming together, is going to be sort of like a central hub for people to get advice from my experiences, like we've said, of 140 odd countries around the world, living in 90 countries around the world, and then sort of my brain side of things, to do with the neuroscience, to do with the meditation, and then obviously to get involved in the business as it started growing, if that's what they want to do.
Right.
So it was a sort of central hub to get everything, so everyone got to see who sort of Mark was from the offset, if you know what I mean, from one place.
Yeah.
Instead of having this website, having that, having Instagram, having this, that and the other, it was trying to get it all into one sort of area.
And so what's the name of your YouTube channel?
@𝗏𝗏𝗄22, but it's called Mach1 Round the World. So my name's Mark Anthony Coates.
Okay.
So it's Mach1 around the world.
Okay, and we'll put the link up here so you guys can see it.
@𝗏𝗏𝗄22.
And also put a link in the description below the video.
Cool.
So if you could do this all over again, and I know it started a long time ago, so this is kind of an odd question, but what would you do different, if anything?
I would have come here over Latin America first.
Right.
I would have come to Asia and not gone and done Latin America. I would have done it the other way around. I would have looked at Asia first, and I think these people here would have, over years of living here, would have sort of chilled me out a lot more than what I was when I went and moved over to Latin America.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think we're all a reflection of our environment.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I think I've got Instagram.
Okay.
That's Warriors of the Mind 23.
Warriors of the Mind 23.
Yeah, that's to do with the business, to do with the hypnotherapy
cool,
and
cool.
stuff like that.
Since you've been in Asia, have you done some dating?
Yeah. I have, yeah. What's your question?
Just, is it easier, harder? How are the people different? I mean, what's the...
When I first moved to Spain,
Okay.
Spain was hard. When you wanted to try and to obviously be with a female or go and do anything, it was hard.
Yeah.
Spanish, like the Spanish.
Yeah.
Same with Mexico, same over there, it was hard.
Yeah.
I was thinking the same when I come here, but it's not. I think they like, it's more to speak, and then that speaking develops into a sort of friendship, into whatever they to do. They're more trustworthy over here of coming to meet somebody, I've noticed, than what they are in any other country I've been in the world. It's like I activated a dating app. I don't normally use them, but I activated one when I come to Thailand this time, called Bumble. And it's straight away, it's the ding, off last night meal, ding later on, going for another one. And it's constant, you know what I mean? But it's more, I can see it's a friendship side of things that people want from the beginning in Asia as well. It's not coming straight into solely get you into bed and bed you. It's they're looking at a friendship and then they develop it from there, but they're very trustworthy.
Well, Mark, thanks for coming out and chatting with us.
No worries, mate, no worries.
We'll try to look you up next time we're in Vietnam.
Cool.
This is Patrick from Retire Overseas with Patrick. I was really struggling. I had 640 subscribers after 1 year of doing YouTube. So Dan contacted me and he did an interview with me. That interview now is almost 400,000 views. And I went within a couple weeks to being monetized. Right now I'm at 4,746 subscribers. So my special thanks is to him. Also, he loves doing interviews. Drop Dan a line saying that you're willing to do an interview with him. Watch your channel grow. Again, thanks Dan, thanks Chung. Miss you guys, man. Hopefully you'll be back in Albania soon. Take care, bye-bye.
To watch more of my guest star videos, click this playlist right here.